Welcome back, friends. If you want to make better connections in life, learn to be interested in other people. Everyone talks about themselves, especially when they get nervous, because we're the easiest things to talk about. We know ourselves the most. But what I've found and what science says is that when you get someone talking about themselves, especially when you are nervous yourself, that person will see you as a much more interesting person. It's a much better feeling to feel like you are interesting than to feel like the person you're talking to is much more interesting than you are. You can use that to your advantage. Ask good questions. Learn how to ask good questions. Also, learn how to let others talk. I used to, when I was nervous and when I would come up against my social anxiety, I would get to the point where I was so self centered. I was so focused on what I was saying and what I was doing and what the other person was thinking of me that I would cut them off in the middle of a story on accident, that I would interrupt, that I would catch myself not listening to what they were saying because I was so self conscious about what I was doing. A quick trick that helped me a lot with my social anxiety is to actually be interested in that person. What makes them tick? What do they enjoy doing with their life? What are their hobbies? What's something interesting that they just learned? Where did they come from? What did they learn that they wish more people knew? Asking questions like that gets the person excited because it's not the basic small talk. No one that I've ever met loves basic small talk. It is annoying, it's repetitive, so redundant. Asking better questions makes you more memorable. And not only that, you get to meet an interesting person that is sitting right in front of you. You have a vast amount of information you can get from this person if you learn to ask questions. And if you learn to ask questions, you will get that person talking. And not only will you put them at ease, you will put yourself at ease. And you won't be able to worry about how you're perceived because you are so focused on learning about them. You're focused on them having a positive experience. You take the spotlight off of yourself and you throw it back on that person. I've had conversations as I've got older and got better at this where I've added basically zero input about my personal life into the conversation. And it was a 20, 30-minute conversation just because I kept asking questions in a way that led to stories. And then I asked questions about that story. And then I sprinkled in some input about my own life if it was relevant. But if it was not, I could keep the person talking. And hearing from friends after talking to this new person that just met me, the reviews were great. But I also got to meet a cool person that had a very different life experience than I've had. And it increases my ability to sympathize with others and also to look at the world through a different lens for a little bit. So often, people that focus on themselves because they are self conscious, because they are worried about how they are being perceived, they're not doing it because they're selfish. They're not doing it. You're not doing it because you want to be the most interesting person. You just want to not screw up. You want to be liked. The quickest way to be liked is to be genuinely interested in others, genuinely care for others. Switch to that method, and you're going to find that your life gets better, your friendships get better, your social anxiety disappears because you are interested in the human in front of you or the humans around you. And you're also kind and focused on helping others and learning about others. I promise it'll help. Try it out and see how it goes. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.